Welcome back to Pathfinder Kingmaker. So we have done the Econ... Why doesn't that work? There we go. Hopefully he's back, thank you. And now we need to go up here so that we can teleport back to the capital. Boom. Now what's going on now? Event. Warden needs your advice, so we can go into the throne room. The daughter of a wealthy merchant has gone missing. Stolen, most likely. Our father wants us to send out our best to search for her. After a moment, Econ adds, he has hinted that he'll reward us for our trouble. We should agree to help. We'll have to deal with the situation regardless. If we agree, we might also fill our coffers. Okay, so I get 4,000 gold. Okay, we agree. The search for the merchant's daughter shall be the guard's top priority. Econ shortly nods. Military -3. Then Crime Fighters is the next event. Sharel is here with an extra planar cloak for us. Make a robe. That's probably a problem. Opportunity. Projects, we have Crime Fighters. And support 2 weeks resolving the problems concerning the barony's stability. Well, we don't have time for that now. We need to go to Varnhold. Or rather, we need to talk to Lindsay. We'll go out and we'll talk to Lindsay, and we'll talk to Econ as well. One or both of them might be in the Tavern, but I can never remember where they hang out. Octavian Regongar. Econ is down there. Okay, so Lindsay is probably in the Tavern. We have a lot of items. Not really. Econ greets you with a nod. I wanted to thank you. I understand, Econ. You're welcome. Econ sighs, relieved. I am glad I met you, and I can be here. Here, I am of use. Elena is also glad that I made up my mind. Gave me armor so that I'd be more careful. I didn't expect it, but the armor is welcome. I won't torture you with more conversation right now. We'll talk later. So Lindsay is most likely inside the tavern. No, she isn't actually. Is she in the throne room then? No, we can talk to her in the throne room unless she's standing beside the table. Just a moment, I just got something. Lindsay quickly scribbles something in a notebook, then raises her eyes and smiles at you. Hi! Have you noticed anything strange about Valerie lately? Lindsay lingers, then sighs dully. I had a fight with her. Big one. Well, I wanted to talk to her about the best way to describe her hair color in the book, and she... Lindsay pouts. She said my book is thrash, and I'd be no better if I busied my time with... Ugh, I won't even repeat it. How could she hurt you like that? Yes. I mean, wait. Lindsay licks her lips. I wasn't hurt, it's just... Oh, it doesn't matter. To be honest, Valerie hasn't been herself lately. She's usually polite, though she can be cold at times, but now it's like she's changed. And it's after, you know... Lindsay gathers her strength. After she got that scar. I talked to her before, and she wasn't very nice that time either. She's gotten so spiteful after she got hurt, though she keeps saying she doesn't care. Okay. Time to talk to Valerie then. We should be just right down beside the palace. I can't move again. No idea why that happens. Valerie nods to you cordially. Glad to see you. Mallory, we need to talk. You've been acting strange lately. If you're going to bring up that scene in the throne room, don't waste your breath. Eveld completely deserved that speech. Captain of the Guard said you were taking it out on random people. Valerie narrows her eyes. So, the Captain of the Guard thinks I'm incapable of carrying out my duties to you and your subjects, huh? Perhaps he should change his armor for a judge's mantle if he's so ready to declare such verdicts. I know you had a fight with the storyteller, and you yelled at Lindsay. The storyteller? What business of his is it? What business of his if I have anything left from the Order? Does he imagine I'm still carrying around Shellin's radiant face as a souvenir? And as for Lindsay, she knows full well how her constant babbling about her book irritates me. Why did you think that pasquinade next to the tavern entrance was about you? Who else could it have been about? That scribbler used to never leave me alone, dog at my heels, asking questions whenever I appeared on the street, and now? Valerie stops angrily and looks away. Listen to yourself. Why all this bile? I want to help you. Valerie twists her lips and looks away as if she wants to end the conversation. Wait. When the girl starts talking again, her voice sounds soft. Please, forgive me, Caledorn. I understand your worries. My behavior over the last few weeks has indeed left much to be desired. I don't know why I'm doing these things. Lindsay thinks you're concerned about the scar. So typical of her. A superficial opinion, a superficial conclusion. Valerie sighs. Forgive me. It is difficult to admit that I was wrong, and scatterbrained Lindsay is apparently right. The girl hesitates, lifts her hand and touches the scar on her face. Since it appeared, it's like the world around me has changed. Wherever I went before, my admirers, followers and bards used to follow me around. And now it's like I'm invisible. Worse, I see how those I talk to, trying hard not to look at the scar. It's like it undid me, completely. Valerie stops again, absently running the tips of her fingers over the ugly scar on her face. She finally pulls her hand from her face and looks at you. I have never seriously imagined what would happen if I lost my beauty. I thought my actions would speak much louder than my appearance, but now I'm having doubts, in this and in everything else I keep telling myself. You're letting your old beliefs cover your pain and disappointment. Let yourself grieve for what you've lost. Valerie looks down. I don't know how to be weak, Caledorn. This is not what I was taught. The girl smiles sadly. You know, when they buried my grandmother, I didn't shed a tear. My mother was frightened for my cold heart, and my father thought this was another reason I should become one of Shellin's paladins. But in fact, I simply don't know how to weep over something I've lost. Valerie runs her fingers through her hair and sighs. Thank you. Now I know what to do. Since I don't know how to cry and wail, I'll do something useful. And there's a lot of people I need to apologize to. That wasn't so bad. Okay, well, let's head on out to Varnhold then. Get rid of Knock Knock and replace him with Inon, and I'm happy. I think we can just teleport to Varnhold. And enter. Those teleportation things certainly are quite useful. Okay, intervene in Varnhold. A fraught scene is playing out before you. Turval, the captain of the militia, is in fiery argument with an angry man in heavy armor. Their hands are on the hilts of their weapons and their eyes are locked. Their stares are so intense they could petrify a lesser warrior. Thank the gods you're here. Rein in these dogs. They're inciting revolt and trying to rile up my militiamen. Aha! She sees her master and runs to lick his boots. This land belongs to us, not this bird of passage. We plough these fields and we protect them as well. When the bandits come, we will be the ones out there shedding blood for our homes while the big city folk hide in their holes. I say no more. Turval, what's happening here? These idiots here decided they want to pretend they're independent now. They've all but forgotten the vows they gave you. The fools can't see that if you were to leave Varnhold, the whole region would fall into chaos. The bandits would be back fighting for dominance all over again. The rivers would flow red. But we gave them law and order, and if they decide to give it all up, why? If they'll be such fools, perhaps we should let them have what they think they want. And what will you do? Hang us all? And then what? Send in your soldiers? That's the true face of your grace and mercy. You butcher anyone who speaks out against you, you two-faced bastards. Call out to the man. You there, what do you want? What's there to explain? We got ourselves an army here, right? That means we can defend our land on our own now, right? We build these little old huts ourselves, we plough the fields, we fend off the bandits. That means we deserve to rule Varnhold ourselves. We've no more need for strangers. Do you even remember whose gold bought those weapons? Who taught you to fight? Who gathered the militia in the first place? What you say is true. You have helped us arm ourselves, and for that we are thankful. That's why we don't want to break away from the barony. We just want to rule our own homes. What gives you the idea that you, living in the capital, know better than us that what Varnhold really needs? Trust me, you'll only thank us once you're set us free. Why hasn't this revolt already been dealt with, Turval? Forgive me, Your Grace, it's just... The half-elf lowers her voice. These were our people, Your Grace. Our neighbours, farmers, craftsmen. I didn't want to spill even more blood, but I suppose I failed, haven't I? Turval, take care of your people right now, and I will support you. Yes, Your Grace. Now, we'll put these upstarts in their place. Heh, you wish. You hear that, folks? They want us to run home with our tails between our legs. What do you think? We fighting for our land or what? Yes. Well, at least they didn't die. Turval gives you a tired look, but there's an ingratiating tone to her voice. Please, Your Grace, do not execute these fools. Yes, they have overstepped their bounds, but this was simply folly, nothing more. I implore you, have mercy on the guilty and do not disband the militia altogether. Place them under house arrest until they come to their senses. As for the militia, I will give you one more chance. Turval smiles, her face beaming with gratitude. Thank you. You have my word, this will not happen again. We won't let you down. Listen up, you oafs. Away with you. Back to your homes, everyone. Well, I guess they did die. Oh well. Anything else I need to deal with in Varnhold? No, we have to go to the tours of the Lebanese. Beneath the stolen lands. I guess that's the... Wait, we can go back up and check with Turval before we leave. Turval greets you with a friendly smile. Welcome. We've just brought in a couple of new recruits. The guards are teaching them all they need to know about standing night watch. And I'm busy making armor for the boys. No one should fight bandits with a bare chest. Leather armor can do wonders. It won't make a lot of noise and give away your ambush, but it will protect you just fine from a blade. How is the militia doing? Things have quieted down a bit. As soon as you showed force, everyone who used to speak out turned quiet and obedient. Finally, we're serving the people instead of arguing amongst ourselves. I'd like to know more about your craft. The half-elf's eyes glisten and dance. Leatherworking, you mean? With pleasure. You see, the trick is to remove the hide so that the tendons don't stick to it. Otherwise, it will go brittle. Then you need only patience. You let it rest, you drench it in salt water. That way, you will get sturdy leather, hard as wood but still flexible. If you wear that, you can rest easy even with some bastard poking you with a blade. It's not steel, of course, but you won't be running around the woods all day in steel or sneaking up on someone from behind. And then there's all the other equipment you need to survive a day in the woods or on the dark streets, and it's all made of leather as well. Without a good pair of boots, the first snake will get you if you haven't drowned in some swamp already. And without gloves, every poisonous bush will leave its nasty marks on your hands. And I won't even get started on belts, the most useful thing you own if you don't want to lose all your things while you're on the run. All in all, it's a good craft to know, and it keeps bread on the table. I have to go. This merchant, does he have anything of interest now? Nope. I think there's a merchant here as well. No, just peasants. I'm guessing this is a peasant woman, so let's just leave Varnhold behind. Yeah, leave her. Now, we already have this region. We probably should mop up the various locations inside this region, like these areas here. Claim the various things. But we want to go down to the Tors of Levenis first and foremost. Lost Land Keep is down there. Let's go there. Or rather go there. And then up and claim. Then we can go over there. And up and claim. Let's go see what this ruined tower is. But first and foremost, the Baron is out of reach. Ah, so this is Dunsward. Well, let's enter then. The ruins of the tower loomed over the surrounding plains like a tombstone so old that time had worn away the epitaph, as well as the language it had been written in. Each crumbling step of the giant stairway was as tall as a grown man's chest, and the huge portal where the door once stood was wide enough for our entire party to walk abreast through. We decided to climb the tower. Succeeded. It was hard to imagine how tall the building must have been before crumbling under its own weight. It is possible that even the owners would have towered above us had they still been around. Even so, by using the cracks and pits in the stone wall, an experienced climber would likely be able to scale the tower. Ekondayo spat on his hands and swiftly climbed up to one of the high ledges, what remained of the second floor. There, the walls had deteriorated even further. They were covered with engravings, barely visible symbols of some ancient language. After catching his breath, he decided to... well, he doesn't really have any knowledge world. Climb further. Failed. Climbing higher was no easy task. Ekondayo's fingers slipped on wet moss and the rocks crumbled beneath his feet. Yes, hi, Refiras. Perched atop a shelf on the opposite wall, a large black raven watched Ekondayo's ascent intently. At the worst possible moment, the rock Ekondayo had been holding came free from the wall, sending him plummeting. As he fell, he tried to grab onto something. Fortunately, Ekondayo was able to nimbly twist himself in mid-air and caught onto the ledge he'd passed on the way up. After catching his breath, he decided to climb further. Climbing higher was no easy task. Ekondayo's fingers slipped on wet moss and the rocks crumbled beneath his feet. Perched atop a shelf on the opposite wall, a large black raven watched Ekondayo's ascent intently. Clinging to the signs that were carved into the wall, Ekondayo slowly began moving upwards. At last he reached the top, and an even stub was all that was left of the spire that once must have reached to the lower clouds. Alas, there was no treasure to be found there, unless you were willing to count the magnificent view of the surrounding area. Finding out that he had seen enough, Ekondayo carefully descended. After that we decided to turn away and leave. We walked away, leaving the stone colossus to its eternal slumber. Can I go back there? No, I can't. That's a shame, I should have used Lindsay. Oh well. So what's blood furrows? It's not too big. Looks like this horse fell while trying to climb the rock. It must have been terrified to attempt such a thing. Why would a horse try to climb a rock? This is a very peculiar sight. Deep furrows mar the grass in the area, as if a huge plough had been put to work here. There's a deep hole in the ground made recently. At the bottom, you can see a pile of bloody rags that looks like the remnants of some barbarian's clothes. The horse died from a neatly slit throat, probably made with a sharp blade. But its body is also covered with deep wounds that resemble huge bite marks. That, combined with the furrows on the ground, leads you to one conclusion. You've entered a Bullet's hunting grounds. The underground monster must still be somewhere nearby. Ah, Bullet's, land sharks. The inscription on the stone is made with blood. The text says, "Running is no help, the grass betrays. Stay with me, better die than become food for..." The barbarian seems to have died from massive blood loss. Horrible wounds cover his body, though his hand is still clutching a knife. We have found Endurance. That is a very nice great club. Deterrence. Grants the wielder immunity to shaken and sickened conditions. And here we have a belt of physical flow. Strength and dexterity, +4. Does anyone want that? Ekin, you're using a belt of physical form. Strength and constitution. I don't think we really need... The only one who would benefit from it is Ekin. Let's give it to Ekin so he gets 20 strength. He loses some hit points. 112. 136, but that's fine. Then this one, dexterity and constitution. We can put that on Lindsay. And then Harim can get this one. Are you wearing gloves? Yes, you are. You're better than this one. Likewise with these. You can have a ring of protection +2 instead. Natural armor +2. Can have that. Reflex saves. Let's put this on Amiri. Not sure we can take that off. Okay, well, let's see if we can find this bullet. Yeah, here we go. Hi there! It's even an ancient bullet. more time. Perfect. Neat. Amulet of Mighty Fists and a Taldon Warrior's Dog Tag. We need to rest because I saw Caledorn is fatigued. Let's keep exploring Dunsward. Troubled Lands failure, that is fine. Failure. There's nothing new. Spider Lair. Where does the border go? Okay, so Dunsward isn't really that big. Let's take this spider lair and you need to cast heal on yourself. And then you can do critical wounds. Hello. Such cute spider seas. Maybe not. Test spiders. What are you doing, Ekon? You're not using... Please don't tell me that I've lost your bow. No, thank you. Not exactly too difficult, these spiders. Oh, Primal Spider Matriarch, huh? An Arrow Guard. Not too bad. Baked spider legs. That's a delicious dish. Oh, that seems to be it. good idea to keep down here. Mushrooms. There's something there as well. Ancient Cyclops coin. We don't need that. Okay, so what we need to do now is just explore the rest of Dunsward before we go down into the tours of the Lebanese. But let's stop here and camp. I don't think... Yeah, we want to do that. We can use rations. So these delicious baked spider legs, what do they do? +3 to fortitude saving throw. Owlbeer omelette. We are running out of trout, so this would be the last one. Let's rest here.
Oh, Ekin! I still remember that elk you downed for us. I love it when you hunt. You always bring back something delicious.
Thank you.
Okay, well, let's end the episode here, and we'll continue to try to explore Dunsward and get the things that we... I won't go claim this until we're done down in the tours of the Lebanese, because walking through all of this is going to be an annoyance at best. So thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you all in the next episode.